I bet with Interbet only. They're a fantastic site. I've never had any issues with them. They are very professional. There's never a problem. You deposit money, 2 seconds later it's in your account. You withdraw, which I do very occasionally, and I believe it's also 2 seconds it's in your account.
Race number 7, the penultimate race on the day. This is an MR94 handicap over the 1400 meter trip. 4 o'clock is the off time for race number 7, and the market has got number 1 Wise Act and number 6 Morgan Le Fay as joint favourites at 3-1, 4-1 about number 7 Sleek as Silk, 6-1 Ralph the Rascal, 8-1 Diani, and then it's 10-1 and better bar those. Now, race number 7, Corny Spees is in town. He's got Wise Act, who's a one-time winner from 8 starts. He's a horse that won at the second time of asking, and a runner that they thought could win his fair share of races, and I think he's been a touch disappointing to date with only 1 win from 8 starts with a couple of seconds to add to his CV. Last time out he ran 7th, beaten 5 lengths behind 1 fell swoop, and that was in a feature race of 1100 meters. He's taken on some strong company from a 1 draw. If he takes to the poly track, he's definitely the horse that they all would need to set their sights on, just based on the fact what he's met in the past days.
Yeah, this race, it looks like a race where you can play around with the form and try and narrow it down. I see it as a race that you could possibly go in with the rule, which is less than half the field, which is 5 runners here out of the 11. You've given Wise Act his air time. He's the visitor in the race, and we'll see how he goes on the surface. Runners to consider here, number 2 Ralph the Rascal, Alison Wright's horse. What I really liked about his run last time out is that he held the position. When he was drawn 2 on the poly track, he never gave up that position. He held that position and he stayed on. I think last time out what caught him off was a 1600 meter trip. If he can hold his position with 54.5 from draw 2, I think he'll run a very good race here. So it all depends on how he goes when the starter says go number 2 Ralph the Rascal. That gets the vote from me. There are 2 fillies in the race, numbers 6 and 7. And the Morgan Le Fay, wow, Wendy Whitehead, take a bow. The way your stable is going, the way your horses are running, and the results are clear for all to see. The stable's in excellent form. There was a buzz around this filly last time out. The money came and she didn't disappoint. She won a good race under a confident ride from Richard. What's Richard on this horse? 2 from 2. He knows her well. And he's had 2 different rides on her. One where he came from the clouds to win going away, and the other way he raced up handy. So he knows that she's versatile. When you start achieving ratings like this, 98 given to this 4-year-old filly, then whichever province you're in, it's tough to try and place your horses in the right races. So I can see why Wendy has chosen to race against the boys here, because it's tough to now find races for her, and we'll see how she fares against the opposite sex. But the one thing that's clearly noticeable is that when Sleek as Silk beat Morgan Le Fay, she was receiving 4 kgs, and now she receives 5 kgs. So that's just the way the game goes, is that you beat a horse, and then the horse comes out to win, and it's now you're better off. So Sleek as Silk has to come in with the 1 kg better off beating Morgan Le Fay. And then Diane will get the vote from me for pick 6 players as well. But if I had to pick an outright choice here, I'm going to take an absolute flyer and go with Dean Canamea's horse, number 8, Mr. Master Starter, who does enjoy the surface. I'm going to take the stance and say he would have needed that last start badly. It wasn't the worst of runs, considering the layoff. And if he can repeat some of his better runs, I can go through some names for you guys if you don't have a form guide. Horses like Waterbury Lane, Seeking the Stars, Quasi for Sure, Gem King. If he repeats the form that he's raced against those type of horses, against this type of field, I think he will go very close to having a strong each way chance. So if I had to say order of preference here, Rael, I'm going to go 8, Mr. Master Starter, to beat number 2, Ralph the Rascal, number 6, Morgan Le Fay, then number 7, Sleek as Silk, and then my backup for the pick 6, I mentioned I can include 5 runners, will be number 10, Diane.
I think it's scrappy. Just listening to you, I've made up my mind. I think this is an absolute field race. I think a horse like Imposing at, 14 to 1 in the market with just 53 kgs on the back. If he manages to get into a nice position from the off, I think he could run a nice race. And when we go to that form line behind Black Egret, Mr. Master Starter Deani come from that form line. Imposing was an unlucky loser on the day. Unfortunately, Rachel...
Give us a roving banker then. Give us a roving banker. You know, I'm going to say 8, 2, 6, 7, 10 for the pick 6. 5 runners. Sure. I'm hoping I've done my job. For the quartet player, give us your roving banker.
I think let's go with the 2 horse, Ralph the Rascal.
Yeah, I think you could be spot on with that. I think if Atantiwem Gudla just holds that position of 2, this 1400 meter trip will be ideal for him, and he could be the right roving banker for you. I think Rael could be on the money there with number 2, Ralph the Rascal. I'm going to tip him second because I like the look of 8 Master Starter, but the roving banker, I think we're both in agreement, will be Ralph the Rascal in race number 7.
My name's Danny Diliberto, founder of Ladles of Love. It was founded back in 2014. Communities we work with are all over the peninsula, and we're working with 138 beneficiaries now. We've grown exponentially. We've been able to do that because of all the kindness that we have experienced from individuals and corporates such as Interbet, who just want to be part of the change.